Hello and welcome to the Gorilla Hotline.
It was my turn to do the intro this week.
Hello, welcome to the Gorilla Hotline. What's your name?
Sorry, I developed amnesia over the last week.
Fine, go on intro.
No, it's fine. I'm Dani.
I'm Ghaly. Welcome back.
We're back.
We're going in raw.
Yeah. No loop.
Cold. Yeah, it's a cold day. Raw.
It's not that cold.
Cold.
And never before told.
Yes.
We help people.
Amazing. How can people get in contact with us?
Simple. It's gorillahotline.com/submissions or hello@gorillahotline.com
or
DM
us on our Instagram.
Yeah.
I just came up with that. At the top of my head.
Firing
DM us on our Instagram and specify that that's a story you want read out. Right? Or DM us on our Twitter.
Shit, I didn't check if we got any new submissions again.
Me neither.
Long and short of it, DM us on Instagram, the submissions page, as I said before, and the email. Check out the socials, Patreon and whatnot.
Everything. Check out everything. Check out the shorts, plural, because there's going to be even more coming.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just want to get into it.
Let's.
Yeah, but ultimately, what we're trying to say is
get involved.
The whole point of this whole podcast is user interaction. Essentially, we want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear weird stories. We want to hear conundrums that you're in. Everything.
And the submission page can let you remain anonymous. So
yeah, I mean, of all things, in a sense, it's like to us it'd be funnier if you were anonymous, because then we can kind of try and build an idea of what you look like from our our memory bank.
Yeah, so we'll make assumptions about you. Is what we're saying.
Exactly, and that'd be funnier to you too, knowing that you may or may not be like that. But yeah,
get involved.
Get involved.
I don't want to keep saying it. Let's get started.
First post. Am I arsehole for not moving from my booked seat for an elderly person?
Okay.
It's a Briton. Dude.
Oi.
It's a Briton. Okay. 32 female. Recently got a train across the UK from London to Aberdeen. It's a 7-hour journey.
Fucking hell.
So I booked myself a first class seat well in advance. First class seats on trains in the UK can be expensive. But hey, I decided to treat myself. Because, one, I was making the journey the day after returning from a 2-week-long work trip abroad. And I knew I'd be exhausted. Totally unable to function. Number two, I knew I'd have to work. I knew I'd have to do work on the train. So I wanted to make sure I had space/comfort to be able to work. I mean, real talk, you don't even have to justify it. If you can afford it and you're comfortable with it, then...
I've always wanted to travel first class.
Yeah, like you don't need to overly justify it.
But then again,
like
on a train, it typically just means you get Wi-Fi and...
like a plug as well. And
well, no, you get plugs in regular seating.
In peasant seating.
In the peasant seat, yes. Yeah. In the dirty seating.
The smelly.
They just kind of offer you like a snack and a cup of tea, typically. It's not very fancy.
The problem with normal seating is though children are about.
Listen, dude.
And they're so loud on trains.
I will take a loud child over my last experience on a train, man.
You know, I got a clip from like a really shitty low-res clip from like when I was really young.
Of you playing Wii on the train?
Yeah, me playing Nintendo Wii on the train with like the TV plugged in, the Wii plugged in. Dude, it was all turned off. All the noises were turned off apart from the Wii remote sound effects. Right? So all you can hear, like we're playing Mario Kart, all you can hear is like like when I'm doing that, just like annoying, like I watched the clip again recently and I was like, what a shitty little brat I was, dude. I must have been so annoying.
No, but that's legendary. Just plugging in a TV on the train. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, it was sick. It's just it was all great. It was golden. It's just I cannot express how no one around me was not just irritated by the Wii remote noises.
Maybe because they acknowledged you were a child.
Excuse me, tap me on the shoulder.
Hey,
turn your Wii remote sound down.
This is a silent coach, you little shit.
Oh, but anyway, and number 3, on certain trains in the UK, the first class carriages have individual seats, which means you're not sitting next to or sitting opposite anyone.
Because you want to pay for the privilege of no human interaction.
Basically, yeah. The space is entirely your own, and you can spread out over a little table. As the dream.
Lovely.
I specifically booked one of those seats to enable me to work. I got on the train at London and sat in my seat. I wish they specified what station as well.
It's probably Euston.
Most likely.
Either Euston or Victoria or King's Cross. So, yeah, it could be any.
Yeah, probably. The seat they'd assigned me was also the priority seat. Priority seats are the ones at the end of carriages for people with mobility issues due to age or disability. A woman got on after me who was around 60 years old and pointed at the sign above my head and quite rudely told me to move because she was elderly. I told her I'd booked the seat and she'd need to speak with a member of staff to find her one. She pointed out that the train was full, even first class was full, and there were no other seats. I apologised, but I reiterated that I'd booked the seat and wasn't going to move. Let's go.
Good.
Let's go. Eventually, a train guard came over to try to help.
What's going on here?
The lady had booked a return ticket, but she hadn't reserved a specific seat. For those who don't know how trains work in the UK, if you have an open ticket and haven't also booked a seat reservation, it means you can travel on any train, but you aren't guaranteed a seat unless there's one available. So then that's her fault then.
Yeah.
Anyway, he asked if either of us would consider moving to standard class if he could find us a seat. I again refused, explaining I'd booked the seat well in advance and that I needed it. He asked if anyone in the rest of first class would mind changing, and no one agreed. Eventually, he took the woman to standard class, and I assume found her a seat there. Yeah.
So
What's
the problem
I
here?
felt bad, but I also don't think I need to put myself in severe discomfort because someone else didn't think ahead and reserve a seat. Am I the asshole? Tiny edit. Since apparently it's not clear, and this is all written in bold, by the way. Since it's apparently not clear, at no point was I aware this was a priority seat before getting on the train.
I wish she gave us a bit more of like the lip from like the old lady, so we could like shit on the old lady for a little bit.
You can imagine what sort of I imagine old white lady. Personally, I imagine old like traveling to where is it? Sorry,
London to Aberdeen, 7 hours.
Aberdeen. Yeah, so potentially Scottish. So she could be like disgruntled. I imagine this is from my mind palace. Okay, she might not actually be like this. I'm aware of that.
Get on with it.
right?
Get on with it.
I'm thinking.
And 60's not old.
Bro,
Nah, 60's not old.
depends if you've been lifted. And 60's not old. I feel like this is the do you lift? No, I disagree with you. Do you lift? Yes, you're in the right podcast. Alternative title.
The thing is that 60-year-olds, you know, I wouldn't consider them old because early 60s you're still working, you know.
Yeah, but you're not gonna that 6-year-old lady isn't gonna be rattling around standing up for 7 hours.
No one should, to be fair. No matter if you're 20 or 60, you shouldn't be standing around for 7 hours on a train. That's horrendous.
What if she was just like, well, I'll just stand here until you move?
Then at that point you're being harassed.
You go to sleep. You wake up 4 hours later.
Oh man, I'm glad I pre-planned. I'm glad I got some forward thinking.
No. You pull the blinds down just before you fall asleep. You pull them back up 4 hours later to reveal her in the darkness behind you.
That sounds scary more than anything.
Please let me have a seat.
No.
Did you book? Didn't think so.
If this was a Disney movie, you'd be turned into a beast.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, some harsh punishment will come upon you.
The princess in the ivory first class seat turned away the sickly old lady.
The train to Aberdeen.
A curse upon you.
A Disney story. Oh, the train was full. Oh, but we magically found seats in standard class. Well, go get your ass into standard class then.
It doesn't.
What do you expect?
It doesn't. Did the old lady book first class too?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because if she did, and they didn't assign her a seat, then she got scammed. For first of all.
Well, at that point you take it up with the national train line, no?
Yeah.
Because you can just be like, well, I booked first class, but there were no seats. But then they could argue like, well, you booked first class, but you didn't. That's so what? So you just booked to be in the carriage.
Very recently, when I was coming back from visiting Jess's family from the countryside, we booked a ticket, and essentially the train. I think it was it was the Jubilee weekend, so the train was already very packed.
Right.
I mean, I don't know why the Jubilee had ended anyway, but I digress. And basically, you know, we go onto our train we connected from where we were to Birmingham, going back to London. because the West Midlands trains, they don't assign you a seat. They just, it's like that. You pay to get on because there's no assigned seats. And that's it.
Fine.
But then on the Avanti trains, they do, like OP is saying. And basically, yeah, so our seats got double booked. And there was literally nothing we could do about it. We just like, I was like, to the lady, yeah, but this is our seat. We got the tickets. And she was like, so do I. Do you want me to and she showed it to me. And I was just like, well, I guess we got to stand now.
How long was the train?
No, thankfully it wasn't too long. It was about an hour and a half. So it wasn't like
Standing for an hour and a half. That's not bad.
well,
That's
it's not the no, it's not. It wasn't the standing
Yeah.
that infuriated me. It was the fact that I booked a ticket. I paid a fair bit, and they charge you a fair bit. Not even for first class, right? You can easily spend £100+ on a ticket.
Oh, easy,
Yeah. And you know, because the fucking the train company is run by actual idiots. You know, I literally got robbed. You know what I mean? I threw 100 quid in the bin because
Could you not talk to them about it and be like, well...
By the time I got off the train, I was so angry. I just wanted to go home. I did not have the what's the word? The capacity to remain composed in that moment in time. But the point I'm making is that things like these happen all the time on the trains, and you know it's not anyone's fault if you pay for your ticket for a seat and you sit down and someone else, you know, even if for a priority seat, it's not your problem. You know, priority implies courtesy. You know, and if you don't want to move, you don't have to move. Yeah, that's it.
No, definitely.
I mean, some people though, they get really entitled about their priority. Even I've had some pregnant women, man, just like giving me so much shit because I was sat on the priority seat on the overground a few times. And I wasn't even being like difficult. I got up when they asked me to, but like when they come up to you, they're like, this is a priority seat, and I'm just like, all right, love. Yeah. Can I have the time to fucking pick up my bag and shit? Like, do you mind?
It's a bit intense. It sometimes, the thing is, like, you know what? I like those old people where you're sitting in a priority seat, the underground as well. They'll kind of like kindly gesture to you, kind of like, hey, you know, my legs aren't as strong as yours. Do you mind if I? And then you're like, kind of, if they approach like that, you don't feel like such a dickhead. I think when
it's the attitude.
It's all in the approach.
It's really just about how, you know, entitled they come across as, because then it's antagonizing when they come to you with like the demand, like, you need to give me your seat because a sticker says so, and you're just like, well, I paid good money for this seat. I don't give a fuck about your problems. Go sit somewhere else. Why'd you have to be in first class?
That's what I'm wondering. If she booked first class and she didn't get first class, hey, take that with Trainline.
Yeah.
Because you got scammed, and obviously first class is far more than standard seating, and you have to hang out with those dirty
peasants,
dirty common folk, those village scum. But like, you know, if you got done dirty like that, then don't take up with this lady because she doesn't feel like
giving you her seat.
That's your problem. You're old. You should have got there earlier.
I mean, you've been on Earth earlier than her.
Yeah, you've probably been on a few more trains than this other woman.
You should know how it works by now. I mean, it's not like flying where some people are impartial to it.
Yeah, you remember the invention of flying.
Whoa, you were probably there when the Wright brothers took off for the first time.
Sitting in the field, yeah.
You know, in the RAF base.
Yeah.
During the war.
You know how travel works.
Yeah, you know how it is to get from...
Well, she's sick.
Oh, man. Yeah, not the asshole. Like, I mean,
you're calm.
I mean, like, even if she came to you all nicely, you know, people who book a first class seat are just kind of like, I feel like
it would break your heart though if she came up. I'm so sorry. She's like shaking.
If I'm on the train or a bus,
let's run through a scenario then. Okay. I'll be the old lady.
All right.
You be a woman who's just, you meet all of her criteria. Okay, so. You were making the journey the day after returning from a 2-week-long work trip abroad. You knew that you would be exhausted / totally unable to function, right? So
oh my god, the Norway branch is just something else.
You're in and out of some hallucinations.
No hallucinations. File the report for Monday. No, I can't. No.
My 401k.
Oh no, I don't want to. I don't want to retire at 50. It's like a fever dream.
No.
So she's come back from war. Okay, yeah, all her criteria.
Wait, no, second. Let's really get into the mindset. You knew you'd have to work on the train as well.
Sake,
You're in
it
and
never
out of,
ends.
in and out of consciousness. You need the space and the comfort. You're a unit. You need the space and the
I've
comfort.
not been gym in years. I'm wobbling to my seat.
You've only gone to the gym. You are nothing but muscle.
Oh, brilliant. I love this.
You're like a fridge.
Phew. I could probably snap the old lady in two in this scenario.
And in your shorter lifespan than this older lady.
Well, my shorter time on Earth. My lifespan is probably longer. I'm probably going to outlive her at this point. But then again, the amount of testosterone running through me might kill me. I mean,
okay.
I've not got long left, is what I'm trying to say. I need to enjoy this seat.
Yeah.
I'm at death's door, practically.
You feel your brain, the lights in each room of your brain slowly turning off as each day passes.
I'm in and out.
Who am I again? Where am I?
All I know is that I need to lift.
This train's 7 hours, but where is it going?
Where are the dumbbells?
I just want to live.
Excuse me, does this first class train have an indoor gym?
I don't think so.
You start doing push-ups on...
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
On certain trains, and you're fully aware that on certain trains in the UK, the first class carriages have individual seats, which means you're not sitting next to or opposite anyone. The space is entirely your own. You can spread out over the little table, feet up, right, on the table. I specifically booked one of those seats to enable me to work. So you fully, essentially,
yeah.
Like the competent adult you are, you fully enabled yourself an environment in which, although you're tired,
you can
fully work, and as far as you're concerned, nothing is stopping you from working. Okay.
I am a strong, independent woman. I am career driven. I will literally snap in half anyone who asks me to move.
Anyone dare get in between me and this seat.
I will snap them in half. In this scenario, I'm Bane.
Yeah. Alright, cool. And I'm fragile old woman, bit ditzy. Didn't think forward at all.
Nope. Dementia kicking in.
I'm angry at the world because
I'm old.
You know, times have changed. You know, what was the old guy from Shawshank Redemption called again?
Morgan Freeman.
No, the other guy, the guy who writes on the piece of wood just before he kicks away the stool.
I forget.
That guy. I'm that guy, basically. Okay. Wait, I'm probably a lot slower than that, to be fair.
My God, how do you get anywhere? You're walking at like 0.2 miles an hour. I feel like you want to ask me something. Out over there in the distance.
I'm slowly making my way towards you.
Unbroken eye contact on your way there. Even though I'm a hunk of a woman, you're not intimidated at all. Because you know that sticker's got your back.
I've dealt with my fair share. In Vietnam.
Oh shit.
This British woman.
Who served.
Okay. Excuse me.
Whoa, your voice is raspy.
And then at this point, I'm for the listening viewers, because that's all they're doing.
Pointing.
I'm pointing to the sign above.
And look up.
This seat is for me.
Nah, I paid for it.
This seat is for me.
I paid for it.
You need to move.
Nah.
You need to move.
Call, chat to the staff. What do you want me to tell you?
I've been walking for 8 days to get to this train.
Do you know cars are a thing? You look old, but you look like you were around when cars were made.
I don't trust that new witch doctor technology.
I'm sorry, do you live in a shed? Why are you on a train? If arguably, a train is much more witch doctor technology than any car. Arguably. What are you talking about?
Aren't trains older than cars?
Yeah, but they're more... I feel like they're more...
Are trains older than cars?
They must be.
Yeah, because they're like ski electrics, basically.
They must be.
I heard a father at a train station the other day explain, how stupid am I? You know, I didn't know. You know the way trains set up, like underground trains. I think all trains, but you know underground trains. You know how there's the two side metal things, and then there's the middle one. It literally functions like a scale electric. So the middle one is the electric one.
Oh shit!
And the two side ones don't have any electric running through them.
They're just wheels.
Well, no, they're just there to keep the train on the tracks.
Ah.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that. I was standing next to his father who was explaining to his very young children how it works.
Wow.
As soon as he went, oh, it's like Scalextrics, it clicked in my head and I went, bro, I didn't even know that.
Wow, you are a really well informed old lady.
Hey, you're a great dad. You're a great dad.
Are we still doing the
Sorry,
roleplay?
yeah, back into the roleplay. Get up.
Nah. Lady, have you seen the size of me? I could snap you in half.
Back in my day.
Yeah, I wasn't around.
Back in my day, people would literally let me walk all over them and do whatever I wanted.
Well,
if I raised my voice this high.
Well, I got shredded to stand up to my bullies, and you're bullying me. So if you keep harassing me, I will resort to violence. And chances are,
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do about it?
I'll call the Queen's Guard on you.
Call him. I can take him. Have you seen me? I'm built like a fucking brick house.
Do your worst. Do your worst.
And then she calls the fucking train guard.
What's going on here?
You have to.
She won't let me. She won't let me sit in her seat.
Do you have a speech impediment? I did not understand. Are you? No, I don't want to stand up. Look, I paid for this ticket. It's not my fault she can't use online booking.
Peasant class?
Nah, no chance. No chance.
I'll go check.
Yeah, you do that.
I'll go check blue class. I'll come back and you'll move.
I didn't get a word of that, and I'm not going to move.
All right. That was the train. Oh, here he's coming back. He's coming back.
Thank you. I didn't want to stand awkwardly with the old lady, just staring each other in the eye while the dude's gone. Like,
what? There's space in the what? There you go.
Nah, I ain't moving.
I suppose I've lost this battle.
No, you have to ask everyone else on the train if they want to move first.
Excuse me, everyone. I'm old and feeble and require first class. Does anyone want to offer their seat up to thou? So...
No!
Ugh, gross. Get out of our carriage.
Go back to Russia.
You know, just a slight bit of racism peppered in from the garage.
I didn't expect this from first class.
I didn't... even the train guide.
Whoa!
Hey, go to your country. Hey. Whoa! You work for the National Rail. What's wrong with you?
I'm cancelling you.
I'm cancelling all of you.
Takes to Twitter.
Oh man!
So she can't work out to book a ticket, but she can cancel people on Twitter.
She's fantastic. Can't cancel a refund for this train journey, but she'll be damned if she can cancel 30 people in first class.
All 30 rich people.
Plus one for the racist train guard as well. And then as she leaves, everyone cheers.
Hey!
Woo! Let's celebrate. Train guard, don't forget to come back. Bottle of champagne on us. Hey,
it's like a toad, man.
So anyway, yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, you can. I'm glad I fought for the rights to stay in my seat.
So, look, we're just filling in the blanks.
I'm sure that's more or less how it went down.
One day I will reprise my role as train guard.
When that evil witch undoes this curse that turned me into a frog man.
Okay.
Compose yourself.
I just keep imagining a train guard.
Just a toad with like a jacket.
All right. Anyway.
Not the arsehole.
No, you're alright. You're alright, man. You're alright. Let's look at some comments.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
Oh, man. Yeah. Hey, definitely. Look, you're alright. You stood your ground. You paid money. Like, it would have been the vice versa anyway, because then you would have been at an L, and for what? Like, some old lady. It's not like she's going to give you, like, some fucking magic beans or anything and
I mean, look, if
set you up for life. Like, she's not writing you into her will. Why help her out? You know what I mean?
Never help anyone.
Ever,
the
ever.
argument I'm making is that if she really just needed to sit down, why did it have to be first class? If there's a seat available in standard, then fuck it, take that one. Like, stop moaning at me that paid like $150 for this ticket.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, that's our verdict beyond the fever dream that just transpired.
You can read the comments.
All right, are you still trying to recover from that?
No, I just think it'd be better if you read the story, I read the comments, or if I read the story, you read the comments. Like we switch it up, so there's an element of surprise for both of us. I think.
Oh. The train company are the arseholes here. They sold the disability seats as the most expensive seats on the train. Then they tried to get the person who bought those seats to move to standard.
Yeah, it's weird.
Those seats should, in my opinion, never be sold unless the occupier is disabled. That's on the train operator. It's not on you. Edited. Actually, no. I'm not going to read that.
Someone edited their bruv. Get a hold of
Yeah,
yourself.
no, he's just talking about like fair prices, like the price of the fares. But yeah,
this guy's hijacking the post for himself with an edit of his response to the. No, keep going.
But yeah, not the arsehole. This dude says. Then another one person says, not the arsehole. Sorry, I may be downvoted for this, but why is everyone else on the train in first class asked to move standard before the lady in question didn't book a seat was moved? Who didn't book a seat was moved? Yeah. I mean, this old lady was trying to get a taste of the good life for free. I think that's what she was aiming at.
Because she's old.
Yeah.
She was using her age as a
barely
as a
old.
skill.
Barely old, I'm afraid. Like, because it's like 60 in this day and age. You're not old, man. You got 60-year-olds who are like, I mean, look, if you're not retired, you're not old. Come on. Like, I would say old is when you cross the barrier of 70. That's when you can start saying, I'm old. Because 60 and before...
I'm never going to say I'm old.
Well, it won't matter because it will be a fact.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the moment people start offering you train seats, like, you don't have to ask for them, but people just give them to you.
You know what I love? I love those old dudes that come on the train or on the bus.
I know what you're about to say. Go on.
And they'll get offered a seat and they're like, nah.
Yes, I love those guys.
Gangsters.
I love those guys.
Actual gangsters.
Like, don't do that shit to me. I'm still able to stand.
Yeah.
Of all things, it's good for me to keep my bus sea legs.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if, you know, the more your body stays active, the more... That's what I mean. Like, 60 is only old if you fucking lived a life of sedentary indulgence. And, you know, yeah, if you're super fat at 60, you know, don't ask for who the bell tolls, my friend.
Hey,
yeah.
not false.
But, you know, that's what I'm saying. 60 isn't old, in my opinion, because I've seen a lot of 60-year-olds that are very much livelier than most young people I know.
It's honestly, it's just, I think the key is to make sure that you just don't, I don't know, man, you just don't stop moving. Like, you keep yourself, your mind and your body active in one way or another, I think.
Yeah.
Do some gardening, knitting, you know, boxing.
It's just a simple case of beggars can't be choosers, man.
Yeah.
Very simple. In this post case, I mean, because it's honest to God, what was wrong with asking for a seat in standard class? Just, you're trying it here, and it's obvious.
Definitely. Yeah.
One more comment. Not the arsehole. If it was a first class seat on a plane and someone asked you to move to economy, you told them to fuck right off. Same applies in my mind, and rightfully so. Yes, I do agree. I hate being a bit of an echo chamber for these comments, but
yeah. One more.
One more.
Yeah.
Not the arsehole. The real line shouldn't let people reserve those seats without a disability. I don't know because we
more or less jumped on the defense of, I guess, both these people, because it's like, it's not like, it's weird to have to, like, it's weird to be put in a position where both of you fully, well, not her, not the old woman, but you fully paid for something and you're essentially like being put in this moral dilemma of, you know, am I going to have to give up a seat? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's unfair.
It's a matter of it's a matter of this money I just spent. Am I gonna have to waste it completely? You know, for an act of kindness. That's all there is to it. Yeah, this is a beggars can't be choosers situation. The lady wanted to take a seat in first class, and you know, rightfully she got told to do one. You know what I mean? It's not about you know, the train line giving away disabled seats to people who aren't disabled, because you know, if they have to, you know, it's a business at the end of the day. They can't just leave 2 viable seats open, because what are the odds of someone who is disabled, part of a lower demographic, like part of a fewer demographic, also going to pay for first class, which is even more of a niche. You know what I mean? You're asking for 2, you know, you're asking like 2 filters on the person here. You know what I mean? When like on a search engine, you're putting 2 filters here, which is likely to, the seats are likely going to be left unsold. You know what I mean?
It's a huge misstep on the train line's part. It's neither of your faults. If we're going to shift accountability to one of the parties involved, one of the 2 parties involved, you or the old lady, it's the old lady's fault.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, she should have sussed it. I'm not saying make her stand for 7 hours.
No. But find her another seat. Ask someone in economy, I'm afraid.
Or standard seating or whatever. Because again, you've ticked so many boxes as to why. It's not like you were in first class just for the fuck of being in first class as well. I mean, that wouldn't even matter because you paid for it. So
yeah, let's move on.
For the 3rd time, the segment's back. We wanted to make it fair. We didn't want to just rip on stay-at-home girlfriends. You know, in the idea of infinite, there were obviously going to be stay-at-home boyfriends as well.
Because Gorilla Hotline believes in equality.
Yeah, we're purveyors of equal rights
and fairness. Okay,
which is why we're looking at a stay-at-home boyfriend this week.
Yeah, because if we're gonna shit on women, we're also gonna shit on dudes.
Of course, everyone gets shit on. Everyone gets shit on. We get shit on by each other. Everyone around us. It's only fair. It's only fair. So this week it is day in the life of a stay-at-home boyfriend.
All right, let me see.
Day in the life of a stay-at-home boyfriend who is unemployed and depressed. I woke up early today to make the bed before...
Did he just say depressed?
Yeah.
Unemployed and depressed?
My friend. Those 2 things are correlated, I'm afraid.
Huh.
I mean, to just come out and say it.
Fair enough, man. You're in tune with your... It's a bit... Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll move past it.
We'll try to move past it.
We're taking Mark to his 8 a.m. class. Yes, 8 a.m. The only way I can get him there on time is if we stop at Starbucks. So you already know I got my Trenta pumpkin cream cold brew. When I got back, I did some chores because I'm such a good little boyfriend. Then I had to attend online court for a ticket I got while speeding. Anyways.
What?
Online court?
Actually drops that in.
Yeah, so basically, I was getting done for a DUI, so...
Also, where are you speeding to? Nowhere, bruv.
Yeah, I thought you were stay at home. No, he's
now.
He's driving his boyfriend to. He's a chauffeur.
Quick aside. At least he's helping out. That's appreciated, dude. If you were a stay-at-home something, right, and you were also kind of acting as a chauffeur for your significant other, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. That would be very appreciated, to be honest.
I suppose so.
And then it's like, that's nice because then you get to kind of like warm up your kind of I mean, if speaking from experience, to be like, allow me to warm up my social engine for the day, and like just talk to people. Because
you've got a social engine.
Definitely, I've got a social battery, dude.
I feel like I'm a social chameleon.
And you can adapt.
Yeah, I adapt. I feel like if I want to parry someone, and I'll try to be like, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm in a rush. My sister's cat is throwing up on her sofa, and they ran out of like sprays, so I need to like go, and you know, like those homeless people telling you that their sister lives in Australia and they need
to get home.
Yeah, I can come up with shit like that on the fly.
Nah, I'm awful. Like it's like I've only got one mode. I think like I only walk at one mode of speed. Like I'll only kind of be social enough in one mode in terms of like if my social energy has been used up, that's it, dude. I'm done. I'm done. Like, if it's like, for example, like, if I've had like a day of work where I'm like talking to a lot of people, communicating between a lot of different people, when I come home, in terms of talking to like flatmates or like whatever, obviously talking to Lenny is different, right?
Yeah.
she's got her own. I've got my own reserve of energy for her, which
Right,
is
right, right.
seemingly limitless.
You've got an
Right.
emergency generator.
Yeah, she works on her own grid.
Yeah.
But in general, like that's it. I'm
This is why we have to record in the morning.
Yeah, I genuinely, yeah, honestly, yeah, kinda, yeah. If we were to do it in the evenings, I mean, we tried that once. I'm done.
We struggle.
My social battery is just spent. Like I can't.
You know, I feel like over time I've become more extroverted. I've stopped caring about how I come across to people. You know,
Same.
and that's why I can just kind of be like, you know, barefaced, like, you know, just being myself. But in like, you know, professional environments and social environments where I'm not like completely at ease, I feel like I can just adjust to a certain type of like, you know, I can adjust to a certain mood and be what I need to be for the moment and
Button myself up and slip through.
Yeah, basically, you know, just idle banter and whatnot. But that's what I'm saying, you know. I don't know. So yeah, he's a stay-at-home chauffeur, and
he's actually quite useful so far.
Well, I mean,
he had to go to court to sort out a speeding ticket, online court, which is it. He attended court in a wife beater as well.
Hey, you got, you know,
dude, come on, suit and tie at least, man.
So sorry, Your Honor, my webcam's not working.
Sorry, Your Honor. I'm staying at home all the time, and also I'm very depressed.
Oh yes.
Announcing that to the courtroom.
I'm depressed, so you can't make fun of me from wearing, Your Honor.
Well, okay, let's get on with the court case then.
Well, you owe us money, so let's get to it.
I'm gonna double it now. All right. Sorry, all right. I'm gonna backspace. Okay.
I'm a criminal.
Oh no, he was in a jumper.
Okay.
Sorry, just to clarify, he was in a baggy jumper for online court, supposedly with an iced drink in his hand.
I feel like this dude hasn't gone a single frame in this TikTok without an iced drink from Starbucks in his hand.
He is caffeinated to fuck, dude.
He's like the first.
All these stay-at-homers just constantly caffeinated to fuck. Why are you so caffeinated? What do you need to stay so alert for?
Well, if you're depressed, good luck fucking getting shit done without heaps of coffee in you. When I used to work night shifts, man, I used to drink so many coffees during the day.
Yeah.
On my days off, I used to just be like fucking, like, no kidding, excesses of like 15 espressos in the course of the day.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
When I used to waiter, I used to get myself, if I was performing particularly well as a waiter, like on a Saturday evening when it was like peak busyness, I would look down at my hands. My hands, I'd have coffee shakes, like extreme.
There's like an after image
of like, basically, like, because I got to a point, especially at the end of waitering, where I was like primarily doing like big table, like 2 or 3 tables of like 30 plus people each.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like I needed that fucking focus. Like I desperately needed the focus.
But it was very high intensity.
Yeah. Customers would often be like, "Are you okay? Your hands are shaking." And I'm like, "I'm good.
I bought your sight. Here's your drinks.
Eat it.
Drink."
No. Okay, all right. Let's get back into it. So
yeah, okay.
He attended court with caffeinated drink in hand.
Man, like.
I put on my USC cosplay and made brunch for me and Mark. Yes, it was wine o'clock. Don't judge us. We went on a hike, which is really just me carrying my boyfriend up the hill. And then I had a craving to go spend $9 million on lunch. So we went to Air One, obviously. As if that wasn't enough, I then demanded that we go to the Grove because I needed a new pair of Aloe pants. I've been loving Aloe lately. They're totally beating Lululemon. Don't ask me how, but somehow I got to a Lakers game, and here is me sipping a tequila soda and acting like I know what's going on. And truthfully, I have absolutely no idea what basketball even is. After this, I went home because I was just exhausted from the day I had.
I'll be honest, he set a new standard.
You know what? I can't even be mad at that.
He set a new standard.
I can't be angry.
He's depressed. He got some new pants. He went to a basketball
I got
game.
a problem with him being depressed. He had a better day than I've had birthdays, to be fair. That is a great fucking day he just had. My friend.
You are chilling. You're chilling.
Like, you did.
Drop your boyfriend after class. He comes back. You guys go out.
You have wine in the middle of the day. You literally lived more than I live in a week in a day.
Wine o'clock, bro.
He said
wine o'clock.
To be fair, day drinking is a bit of a slippery slope. So
it is.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever day drunk, to be honest. Not even on holiday.
Only on Christmas for me. And even then, I only have a few Baileys with my coffees.
I think I associate like 12-1 too much to like waking up. I think wake up drinking is weird. especially.
No, I only do it on Christmas. I think it's fine on Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, hey, each to their own. It's just a personal.
I get it.
Shtick, innit?
I mean, I wouldn't drink like, gin first thing in the morning or rum, but I feel like Bailey's is sweet enough to be like, yeah, all right, fuck it. It's the season to be jolly.
Nah, I mean, Can we? Sorry, I'm still wrapping my head around just how incredible his day was.
Yes, he went to a fucking Lakers game.
Went to a Lakers game, dude.
No warm up. Just so I ended up in a Lakers game.
Yeah, sure, the seats were, they weren't great. But
they were pretty good, to be fair. He wasn't stood. He wasn't stood too far
he
up.
wasn't standing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he didn't have to fight for a priority seat.
Yeah, he didn't book him then. All right. Yeah, he had a wonderful day. They went out for fancy. Was that? I assume it was like a buffet. That looked like a buffet.
Well, he said
also he's in tremendous shape as well.
Oh yeah,
dude, he's in great shape, dude.
Yeah,
both of them, he and his boyfriend.
He's gonna make it.
He's gonna make it, dude.
Well, I don't know about his boyfriend, but because he had to carry him up the fucking hill. Out of all the stay-at-home partners, now we have to say because we included the dude. I feel like he's the one that's pulling his weight the most.
He's living a good life.
He's living a good life,
He's
man.
living a very good life.
I mean, look.
He must lift as well.
I don't know about lifting, but it looks like he does a lot of cardio.
He does look like he does a lot of cardio.
Yeah, he's too lean to be lifting.
Yeah.
I love how we always fixate on the fitness.
Oh, well, no, because, dude.
But
but the point is, if you're doing nothing, right? And when I say nothing, I mean you don't have you don't have an income, right? That's what I mean by doing nothing. I know an income doesn't
validate your
it doesn't
existence.
validate your whole existence, of sure, but you need to eat. Everyone's got to eat,
But
lifting. I think. Sorry to keep interrupting.
No, it's cool.
Sorry, just the last point. That's why lifting, or just general exercise. I say lifting just to summarize it, but general exercise of some sort is so important. He and his boyfriend went on a hike as well.
Yeah, man, hiking is sick. I mean, as a pastime, it's such a nice,
clears your head,
burn a few calories.
For sure.
This dude, for one, he leads an interesting life, and for two, he's actually pulling his weight at home because he didn't show much of his tidying beyond the bed, but he helped out his partner, took him to class or whatever.
What does Jordan Peterson say? What should you do at the beginning of every single day?
Do your bed.
Make your bed.
Where was I going? The thing is that I can't be mad because all the women in the previous segments, he did everything we said they should get up to. He's exercising. He's doing interesting shit. He's actually talking about interesting shit he's doing. He's not talking about, then I brushed my teeth, then I went to buy this, then I went to do shower. That. No, this guy's day was a roller coaster. He's been to court. He's been to the Lakers. He's gone to... First he was on the legal court, then he was on the basketball court. Right. Then he went on a hike, and obviously not in that order. But...
I'm still wrapping my... Dude, if you're rolling up to online court in a fucking baggy jumper, that is not your first rodeo.
With a caffeinated drink.
That is not your first.
Will the defendant please?
Again, dude. You are back. You are a returning customer to that courtroom. There's no way that's your first time in there.
He's gonna. Will the defendant please rise? Yes, Your Honor.
He stands in his own house.
Yeah.
No, there's no way. There's no way. You've definitely been to online court before, bro. Probably for a speeding.
You're way too comfortable with it.
You were comfy, bro. It was like you were turning up for a Zoom class. Like, yeah. You were chilling. You were way too relaxed.
I can't be mad at this guy. He's all right because I feel like he filled his day with good. I feel like if I lived a day in his shoes, I would probably be able to write that day off as a good day and a productive day because he got up to some nice shit.
He did, man. He had a great day.
But the problem is, I mean, I feel like it's not fair to the other girls that we've seen because they were probably trying to stay a bit more, on the mundane.
Oh, to make it seem as though like this is.
Well, that's more. I feel like that. In all fairness to them, it was more realistic. More realistic.
Yeah, this dude isn't going to Lakers games every day. He might be going to court every day.
It's a fucking menace.
Dude, for 2 seconds, I thought he was going to be like online court as like for jury duty or something.
I mean, he only got a ticket, parking ticket.
Dude, do you know how bad I want to go? I want to be on jury duty.
You don't.
I do. I do, man. You know, my dad was on jury duty not long ago.
I had a colleague who's been on jury duty, and he was in. It's just like such a long process.
Oh,
And if they don't come to a decision, you have to go back the next day,
Yeah.
and the day after that, and the day after that, and it has to be unanimous.
I know someone who's about to do jury duty
Oh,
as well, and I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Like, oh man, it just seems so chill. You don't have to go to work, right?
yeah, but you're not chilling at home either.
Yeah, but it's not like a job. You just have to sit there and listen and use your brain.
I don't know. I could think of better things to do on my day off.
Nah, I'd be pretty chill.
I dread jury duty.
How does jury? Quick question. I don't want to get too deep into it. How does jury duty work in this country? Do you have to?
Well, you get called for it, don't you?
You get called for it. Do you have to take time off of work, or how does that work?
Or they give it to you. They have to give it to you.
They have to give it, and do you get paid like normally?
Yeah.
Bruh,
Yeah.
that's the dream. My dad said he liked it because it was. He said
I
it was
felt
kinda...
a man's life in my palm, Alex. I'm never gonna feel that alive again.
No. He said he liked it because it meant he didn't have to go to work.
Yeah, but
and he was getting paid for it.
Yeah, but compared, anything is better than working. When you do your dad's job.
Yeah, true.
Strenuous shit, man.
Yeah, my dad. Just for reference, my dad's he works in hospitalities.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite strenuous work. So I think for him chilling in a courtroom, but he's buzzing.
Out of all the stay-at-homes, this one's been my favourite.
That was quite enjoyable.
Yeah. And
you know what?
I'm not even angry.
Yeah.
I'm not even
It was
angry.
pleasurable. It was pleasurable. Join us next week for another stay at home.
I honestly, at this point, I'm willing to carry on.
Yes.
I was skeptical last week, but hey,
it's a window. It's a window into other people's lives, man.
Audience, right? Be vocal about this. If you don't like it, give us a sign and we'll stop. But seriously,
but on the complete flip side, you give us
nothing. We'll carry on.
I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of these videos.
Yeah.
And we're already on episode 9. So
yeah,
dude.
Episode 9, but we've done this. This is the third.
The potential is limitless. He went to court and a Lakers game for the same day.
That's 2 types of court.
That's what? Dude.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Mad, isn't it? What are the odds?
I'm flabbergasted.
Do you reckon he bust the case, so they gave him the tickets as a reward?
Dude.
I know how much you like Kobe, but
I can
he's
see
gone.
I can see it in your eyes. You're a big LeBron fan. Hey,
was Kobe Bryant in the Lakers?
I think so. I am as ignorant about basketball as he is.
I think he was in the Lakers.
He probably was.
We're going to move on to the second story. Am I the arsehole for not supporting my fiance's kid brother after their parents died? This is really something I never thought I'd be posting about, but I don't know how to deal with this. My fiance, Derek, and I are both in our late 20s, and we're child-free. No kids, no plans on kids. He supported me through getting my bachelor's in nursing school, and now I'm supporting him through college. We live in a moderately cramped studio apartment and are saving for a down payment on a nice house outside of the city. Derek's dad and stepmother, his half-brother's mother, both died in a pretty horrific accident that I don't want to name or specify on for privacy reasons. I mean,
horrific is a pretty open book. The term horrific death.
You know what? In this day and age, I can only think of a shooting.
You reckon?
Well, yeah, they're widely documented, so it's probably pretty public information. Yeah.
Horrific. Could be anything. Could be, yeah. Okay, anyway.
Well, no, I mean, if it was a car crash, it wouldn't be publicised, would it? It'd just be a statistic.
Yeah, but a car crash is pretty brutal.
I'm trying to do my best to support Derek through this, and I've taken over funeral planning. His dad and stepmother were both broke, and I'm currently paying for the funeral out of pocket. No one else in his family can contribute since the accident. His brother, 12, has been at their aunt's house. He hates it there. Apparently he has to sleep on the floor. She has 5 young kids that she makes him babysit, and I really feel for the kid. I'm sure it's absolutely awful. What is it with aunties and babysitting, man?
He's 12 and he has to babysit 5 kids.
His fucking parents just died.
5 kids.
Cut the boys. Buy him a fucking Haribo packet or 7.
Yeah, buy him a bed.
Buy him a bed,
man.
Please.
Or a rolling out.
Or at least leave him the fuck alone.
Like a sleeping bag or something.
Derek wants to have his brother move in with us, but I'm not comfortable with sharing a room with this 13-year-old boy I've met twice. I also don't want to support him. That's at least a 6-year commitment that I never signed up for. I don't even want kids. Derek has suggested we move into a bigger apartment, but our studio is about as cheap as it gets in this city. We lucked out and have been here for 5 years. And the landlord has never raised rent. If we move, it will probably cost around 3k to move and an extra 1k per month at least.
Oof.
Where's she getting these numbers from?
She said that she's been there for 5 years. Landlord's never raised rent. That is pretty impressive. I feel like, in general, in the last 5 years, globally, in the Western world, like housing.
Yeah, but
housing
3k to move? Where's she getting that?
Did she
figure?
say 3k to move?
3k to move,
Nah,
man.
that's bollocks. That's bollocks. Okay.
Well, no, hang on, because
Well,
if you count
how much shit does she have?
if you count the rent up front and the deposit and the moving stuff, yeah, I think it adds up. Yeah, she's right. Sorry. Not to mention an extra mouth to feed, school clothes and supplies to buy, etc. Doesn't feel fair to me at all, and I feel like Derek is using the fact that he supported me for 4 years against me. His parents are dead. What is the alternative here? Yes, he supported me, but it was also a lot cheaper to pay for 2 people in the studio apartment rather than supporting free in a bigger and more expensive place. The deal was for him to support me and for me to support him, not him and his brother. He just started school this semester. He has essentially 4 more years to go. That's 4 years of me having to support a household. And what if we break up? I'll have spent 4 years supporting a kid I don't want for nothing. I suggested Derek to drop out of school and get a job so he can contribute if he wants to support his brother, and said that I would pay for him to go back to school after his brother graduates high school. Derek doesn't want to put off college for another 6 years, which I don't necessarily blame him for. Alright, so she was suggesting for him to drop out now, contribute to looking after the little brother, and then she will help him when he goes back. That's what she was suggesting. I got a bit confused there. That sounds fairer than the moaning she's been doing up until now.
Yeah.
But his brother will be safe and fed at his aunt's house. According to both of them, that isn't good enough. I grew up in foster care and I didn't always have somewhere safe to stay, so I guess I'm biased. No fucking wonder you're so cold.
That is a very valid point, actually. That's a very valid point. Maybe that's why you're so indifferent to this whole situation.
Am I the arsehole for not wanting to support my fiance's younger brother? There's a shit ton of updates. So this is the edit. So I did the math on the costs of him supporting me versus me supporting him and his brother. Copy and pasting from a comment. I've done the math in an attempt to show him, made an Excel sheet and everything. He spent on average supporting us $1,400 a month over the years I was in school, give or take. My presence cost him an additional $300 a month than if he were to live in the studio alone. Essentially, feeding me and paying for the basics costs him around 15k over the course of 4 years that I was in school. We really have scraped by for the last several years. No eating out, Christmas gifts. I've already paid 10k for his parents' funeral. Moving would cost around 3k. That all alone would cost nearly as much as he spent on supporting me. If we moved to an average 2-bed apartment in the area, our monthly expenses would be roughly around $2,700, and that's without me buying anything nice for his brother. No school trips, no decent school clothes, etc. It would cost me around $1,200 currently to live alone in our studio, and he was paying roughly $300 additional a month to provide for me, whereas in the future I'd be paying at least $1,500. These are just numbers. Yeah, basically,
I could not give less. I'll be honest. I zoned out for as soon as the numbers started kicking in. I couldn't give a shit. It just sounds gripey and moany.
Right.
I don't care enough.
Okay, let's do this.
Why can't you just?
I'll summarize the edits.
Why couldn't she have just said it's expensive?
I'll summarize the edits. Okay.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm like. My brain is.
Yeah, you know. I'm okay with numbers.
I like numbers too, but when other people start giving me their numbers.
Right. Don't
figures,
worry.
I zone.
Don't worry.
I zone. I can't even help it.
Okay, for the sake of entertainment, I recommend you just leave the abridged version of mine. So basically, in the first edit, she's going through how him supporting her is going to cost less than her supporting him and his brother. Right?
Okay.
That's the gist of the first one.
Well, no shit. That's what an extra person is going to cost more money. No shit.
Yeah, a child as well.
Of course. Yeah.
So she's accounting for school trips,
and then obviously
presents.
It's going to be growing as well. Fully hit isn't fully into puberty even. So he's going to have a growth spurt and okay, makes sense.
So the second update, which I don't see any numbers, so I'm just going to read it unabridged.
Mm-hmm.
So Derek came home and we had a 2-hour-ish chat about what taking on this child would entail. I showed him my Excel sheet that I made on what expenses would look like. I do this too, to be fair.
His brother has been boiled down to an Excel sheet.
To be fair, I do this too with when me and Jess are planning shit. I just do an Excel sheet.
Well, it's like, yeah, you're forward thinking.
Because Jess is like you, and I start spitting numbers at her. She's like,
yeah, just give me
I need a
hard
visual.
facts.
I need a visual
Yeah,
aid.
Give me hard facts.
But yeah, so there's nothing. I don't think the Excel sheet is weird in itself.
I completely agree. Like,
Yeah.
it's you're taking a very pragmatic approach to the situation.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So essentially, she just tells him what was in edit 1, and then he put his foot down and said that since I didn't have to work while I went to school, he shouldn't have to either. He thinks that since we're engaged, my money is his money. Oof.
Ooh,
Derek,
man,
my friend, I was on your side first.
that's sticky.
I asked what caring for his brother would be like, how he would even get his brother to school, how he would make time to cook for his brother, help him with homework, etc.
True.
He said that with both of us working together, we could figure something out. That's also true. I mean, you can make it work.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't want to do that.
No, I understand.
Anyway, okay, go on.
Ultimately, I don't want a child. I've been child-free for a reason. It's because I care about my free time and money. I told him the only way I'd agree to taking his brother and move would be at least if he got a part-time job to cover the big difference between what I'm spending to support both of us right now and the cost of a larger apartment and an extra person to be responsible for, as well as him agreeing to take sole responsibility for parenting him. What?
Bro, this is a.
I don't want to take him back and forth to school every day, be responsible for making sure he eats, etc. Jesus, woman.
Okay.
Long story short, Derek gave me an ultimatum. Support him and his brother or we split. To be fair, you sound cold, man. I mean, I don't care if you're paying for the funeral. You're cold. This is a child, man.
Yeah.
Like his whole...
This is a very good one as well, though.
That's his whole world taken from him. His parents are dead. He's basically this close to becoming Batman or a supervillain with you in his life.
Oof. Yeah, no, but like, he hates his auntie, he has to babysit. But then what? He out of the frying pan into the fire. He lives with you. You come to resent him. But then what? Okay, your fiance is in school. You leave the picture, and then what? Your fiance feels forced to. Man, I feel so panicked just thinking about all of this.
There was an ultimatum.
Yep.
It was pretty clear he was bluffing, but I agreed. Our rental agreement is month to month, so I told him I'd let our landlord know I'd be out before November 1st, so he can take over the rental agreement. I'm currently packing my stuff to stay with a friend, but I should be able to find a place pretty soon. Derek has been begging me to stay. He has no job or way to pay for the rent next month, so she gave him a shit ton of money to,
cover the expenses.
Yeah, basically just the difference of money he spent for her, essentially.
Okay.
Which should last him about 2 months, enough time for him to find a job. And the last bit is, he's begging me to stay, but I don't think I will. The fact that he gave me an ultimatum like that feels gross. He wasn't willing to work at all, and I honestly think he would have pushed all the responsibilities of raising his brother off on me.
Oof.
Never thought I'd be put in this position, but I'll be fine. At least I can finally adopt a cat after wanting one my whole life.
Hey, let's go.
Derek hates cats. Yeah, well, I hope
What?
you stop.
What?
Derek, no.
Anyone who hates cats is a massive red flag.
Hey, I don't want to divide the audience.
I love cats, dude. I love cats. I can't. And on that note, I'll be honest. Can't be bothered for dogs.
I love both.
I think dogs are long. I think dogs are hairy children, basically.
They are, but they're cute.
They're just so needy all the time, though, man. I love how free-roam cats are.
I like both. I like cats and dogs.
If someone else has a dog, I'm like, ugh, gross. Like, it's just I personally wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't bother with one myself. But, dude, I cannot believe he hates cats. He hates cats.
This is what you're fixating on.
I'll be honest. This guy's...
Ghaly doesn't like Derek because he doesn't like cats. I mean, I think there's a... Okay.
That's more or less the summarization of it.
Ghaly's going to be incredibly biased. I think both of them are shitty.
Well...
Because OP is coming across as incredibly cold.
She said, she did give us a little detail of she grew up in foster care. Right?
Yeah, but
which means that like not in a cunty way. It means that she's just not as like in tune with childhood kind of like
No, she's not got any. No.
the social structure of your nuclear family as a child.
Listen, dude, it doesn't matter
Right?
about
Like,
what.
and that's me saying that factually, by the way. I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a dick.
Look,
sorry. Go on.
okay, no,
I've been interrupting you a lot.
It's
Fine.
fine.
I'm sorry.
Look, right. This is not a matter of what a person is in tune with or what they're, used to, or what they know or what they grew up knowing. This is a matter of compassion, which she has none, by the way. She is all like me, 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 me. She's incredibly transactional, like as in like, like, okay, fine. She got supported through her schooling.
The dream.
Right. So she got supported by her partner through her schooling. And she was going to return the favor, but no more. Nothing more. Like that's it. I'm going to give you back exactly what you gave to me. Only.
In exchange.
Never mind the fact you lost your dad and your brother, your own blood, lost both his parents. I'm still going to only attain to what I contractually, quote unquote, agreed to. Listen, man, tragedy, when it happens, you may be thinking, oh man, I don't want to babysit a kid. But he's like, my mum and my dad are fucking dead.
And it's not like oh they passed you to a condition with an old age, or like, so you even acknowledged yourself. You're like, it was brutal. It was horrific.
No compassion.
It was horrific.
I mean, the way I see it is she tried to compromise. I mean, they're both are at fault here because she tried to compromise and then the dude didn't want to hear it. He's like, I'm not going to work during school. You're going to do this, that, the other. That was unfair. I agree.
Yeah.
In light of such grave circumstances, if you pardon the pun, you need to deviate from your plan. This is a setback.
That is brutal.
It's a setback and there's no two ways about it. If you've been told, listen, I can't afford this by your partner who's willing to support you with these conditions, all right?
Well, no. But the point that she was making was, okay, I'll stick around, but you need to get a part-time job as well.
Yeah,
which is, in my opinion, is completely fair because there's a whole nother mouth to feed.
Right, I agree with that.
A 12-year-old,
I agree with
obviously distraught
child
who's, again, dude, brink of puberty, is about to be, he's gonna go through some crazy stuff regardless.
Right, I agree with that. But then to say, yeah, but I'm not looking after him, I'm not taking him to school, I'm not feeding him. That is horrendous, man.
That's bad form.
That is horrendous.
That's bad form. Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's a child. I mean, I don't care if you don't want children. You're heartless, man.
And so she's now working.
She's
done
working.
with college.
She got what she needed, right?
Do you know what my thing would have been? Let me get a cat. Your brother can stay.
Yeah, but that would have been decent. That would have been a decent thing to do, man.
That's no. That sounds ridiculous. Like I'm comparing a cat
to my brother,
to an actual, a whole
brother
human who's like a brother, a brother who's gone through some crazy shenanigans.
Not
to say the least. I don't want kids, and it's like, yeah, I agree with you. 100% agree with you, Danny. This isn't an everyday scenario. Your fiance and his brother didn't choose for the fate that happened. Yeah. It's horrible what happened, and like it sounds as though if they're really this distraught and caught up in the emotions of what happened, they were obviously quite close to their parents.
Yeah.
At the very least, let him stay several nights a week, man.
Yeah. Yeah, at least.
Give him. Look,
that would have been at least something.
Look, let's be honest. At this point, whether you choose to or not, that child is about to become very independent mentally. I mean, he's going to have to forcibly become very independent.
We've got a regular Harry Potter being formed.
The bare minimum you could do is at least let him stay a few nights a week, and then his auntie's the rest of the time. Because it's like you and your fiance, you've got a life to live, and he's got to study. And
come on, man, this is not a case of he's got parents that are willing to do it for this is not a case of them picking up the slack for unwilling parents. This is a case of the parents are dead, and this is an orphaned child who, like you once were, you grew up in foster care. You know what it's like growing up in foster care, right? You should be way more compassionate.
Very interesting.
You should be way more compassionate, man.
Very interesting
like, this is not a case of the parents are lazy, I don't want to pick up the slack. Because then it'd be like, no, you shouldn't have to. No, fair enough. But this is completely different. This is literally a worst case scenario for this child. And you are literally just saying, you're a selfish cow. I'm sorry. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, okay, Derek is not without fault here too, because he's acting like a petulant child, expecting not to have to work in spite of this, right?
Yeah.
But you fucking put, never mind the fact you paying for the funeral means nothing if you show no compassion to this child.
Yeah,
sorry.
You've got to weave the net a little bit. You know,
it's
what I mean?
disgusting
Like,
to me.
Mentally, this kid is probably in free fall anyway. You know what I mean? At least giving him some sense of comfort. Like, dude doesn't even have a bed. He doesn't even have a bed at his auntie's house.
No compassion, man.
And like, he's got all these weans that he has to look after.
I feel nothing but resentment for this woman, solely because she is like completely opposing everything I believe in. Because I'm the oldest brother of 4. Okay, at the age of 16, I was aware of my position. Okay, as an oldest brother, right? I was, at 16, I said to myself, if something were to happen to my mom or my dad, I'd pick up the slack. At the age of 21, with my little siblings were young anyway.
Yeah.
I was fully, as a working man, I fully said to myself, if it ever came to it, I would give up my life to raise my younger siblings, because if it came to my parents both dying for whatever reason. So the only thing is that although I was committed on my own, I knew I would have been supported anyway, because, I've got a big family, and I find it horrendous that OP here is just casually just like, I care about my free time and my money. There's a child sleeping on the floor. His parents are dead. That is literally...
No, but she's... Dude, this woman who... The OP he's writing, she was an orphan. Like, it tends to be the case. It tends to be the case that being an orphan goes one of two ways, right? One, you're either completely on this flex of like, if/when I have kids, I'm going to be the best parent ever, because that wasn't what I had as a child.
Yeah.
And I feel the need to right the wrongs, what I feel were wrongs in my childhood, and mend in a sense what was broken. But then on the other side of things, they go the complete opposite, which again, both.
No, she just sounds bitter and selfish.
But both pathways I think are completely just. She probably feels like, well, no, because my childhood was awful, and like I felt distant, and I'm not trying to put words in her mouth, but it's just the vibe that you get from reading this. Or she's the writer, she's the author of this long post. Like, she probably feels like, childhood was awful, and like I wouldn't want to put someone else through that.
You'd think that
scenario.
You'd think that's where her mentality would go towards.
I think that's the core of it. Potentially,
but there's none of it here. She's just like, my childhood sucked. I am not going to compromise in my adulthood for anyone, not even the man I love. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, okay. Derek should have taken more responsibility and said, okay, fuck college. Obviously, I'm a grown man, mid-20s, so it's not like impossible for me to go back. I'll get a full-time job. Support my brother, my blood of my own, and I know this really pissed me off.
Well, yeah, no, but you've obviously got, like, you personally, you've obviously got a firm stand on this yourself.
I'm very family orientated.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, to be honest, I think it's safe to say I'm obviously nowhere near as family orientated as you are. From a more neutral standpoint on this situation, I can tell you firsthand where she's coming from isn't ridiculous. I don't think where she's coming from is ridiculous.
I think it is.
I think that no, but like, sounds like she needs some therapy, right? Sounds like it sounds like
I'll give you that.
It sounds like she needs to talk to someone proper and work through that can of worms.
You're engaged, okay? You want to spend the rest of your life with this man. Tragedy befalls on him, and you seemingly do not give a fuck.
To be fair, like, yeah, it does speak volumes for the future.
Yeah,
it does speak.
It's selfish. I mean, this isn't you. Listen, he's not saying to you, "I'm impregnating you against your will." No, tragedy befell my family. My brother is going to be miserable otherwise. Yeah. I want to be there for him.
These are his developmental years.
Right.
His brain will never be this malleable again.
Right.
He is a lost lamb right now, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, but essentially Derek should have stepped up and,
I mean, Derek has stepped up.
He didn't though. No, because he talked a big game and then he got fucked for it because she was like, right, it's either you support me and my brother because he fucked up there. He gave an ultimatum.
Well,
That's a fuck up.
That's the
He's like, you either support me. Like he had no power. Jackie Weaver. He had no power there. He thought like no. Imagine like because I mean I don't respect Derek in because the right thing.
Power.
No power. I don't respect Derek because he wanted to have his cake and eat it too at the expense of his fiancée, which I think is also deplorable. What he should have done is made a conscious compromise and put his brother, a child, defenseless, no means to provide for himself, right? Before his selfish desires and ambitions, okay? When he fucking did a Hail Mary saying, right, well, I've got no money, I've got no ways of like, supporting my brother as of yet.
Yeah.
So you, sole provider,
have to.
if you don't do it, we're done.
Oh.
And then she was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then he had no means to be like, and then once you do that, you lost.
I don't know. I think that maybe part-time at your brother's and then part-time at your auntie's would probably be the best.
That's one solution.
That would be the best solution, I think.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, but what about school? Yeah, but then that brings ambiguity on who deals with what. Like, is the auntie expected to do all the school stuff and, pay for his...
The auntie has 5 other kids.
There you have it.
5 young kids as well, apparently. Younger than 12.
Look, at the end of the day, his next of kin is his brother. And his brother should step up and look after his little brother. That's
in my
opinion, right? He shouldn't have expected his fiancée to wave a wand.
Exactly.
He should have been a man and fucking got a full-time job and said, you know what, darling, you got a point. You shouldn't have to support my brother. I'll support my brother, right? I would have been pissed off if she said, yeah, but I ain't feeding him or nothing. And I'll be like, if you're home and my brother is hungry, you will fucking feed him, you bitch.
No, but... no,
but that's horrendous. Imagine he comes in like, hey, let's say her name is Susie or whatever. Hey, Susie, look, I'm hungry and, Derek ain't coming back until fucking 11 because he's working the long shift. Oh, well, I'm not looking after you. I ain't feeding you.
I don't think she'll be like that though. Because even she said then, she was like, it feels like he'll slowly shift all of the responsibility onto me, meaning that she'll feel...
And that's why she's deplorable in my opinion, because she wants none of it. Like she's
being... The thing is... No, okay, she knows what she wants though. That's what I respect. She knows what she wants and she knows what she doesn't want. And in this case, she's like, look, I'm going to hate it.
Here's a question, okay?
Okay.
Here's a question. In this scenario, right?
Well, we're really divided on this one.
Yeah, I know. But it's... Okay, forget the question. All I'm saying is, she wants to do what's easy instead of what's right. That's all she wants to do. She wants to do what's easy and what suits her, rather than support her partner. Okay, her partner's an idiot as well. They're both at fault here. Everybody sucks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna give it a verdict based on the rules of the subreddit. But ideally, the dude should just be like, okay, cool, I'll support my brother, I'll get a full-time job, I'll pay for his stuff for school, you have to help me out though, because I helped you through college, I'm not asking for money, I'm asking for a commitment.
Our parents died, the child is going through so much grief right now, and your thing is, I want my free time, I want a pet cat.
My closing thoughts, because I don't want, if I carry on any longer, I'll end up just repeating myself. My closing thoughts are, everybody sucks here, OP is a selfish piece of shit. And I don't care. I don't care. Like, however you look at it, as an orphan yourself, you should be way more compassionate towards this poor child. And Derek should have been a big man and fucking went to work and postponed his higher education for the sake of this child who has no fucking fault for what just happened to him.
Yeah.
Those are my closing thoughts.
Yeah. Before we get to the comments, I'll just quickly say as well, I understand her reasoning. The crazy part is she's not even playing a game of, wow, my childhood was completely absent of parents. She's not trying to play that at all. She's just saying she's not down for this. This isn't what she signed up for. Yeah, this is a complete tragedy and something no one could have called for.
Yeah. Or foreseen.
It's an incredibly difficult decision to make, regardless. A young child, that's at least, as she said, at least a 6-year commitment. And God knows if you're going to do a good job of trying to raise him anyway. Like, that's going to be, raising a child anyway is a task, is a task in itself. Raising a child well after the death of both parents in a horrific way, I'm not going to say accident, it's just a horrific way, yeah, it's going to be stress. It is going to be stress. So I understand where she's coming from, I think, is my point.
I'll agree to disagree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. I think you try to make it work. You try and figure out some sort
Yeah.
Because
The problem is...
you're engaged, you're going to have crazy scenarios in your lifetime throughout where things are going to hit the fan, get complicated, get difficult. It's going to sound weird. This is, in a sense, a good test, right? Does that make sense? It's like, not obviously it's a horrible situation, but it's a good test of...
Adversity is always a test of character.
Exactly. Adversity builds character.
Right.
So yeah, those were my thoughts.
Right. One had unreasonable expectation of the other, and the other seemed way too uninterested, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it evens out, but the situation could be handled a lot better, in my opinion. But I still don't like how she approached the matter overall.
Definitely. Okay. First comment. Not the arsehole. Your reasoning is fair. You didn't want kids. Didn't sign up for kids. Your life is not set up for kids. But that is his brother, and he feels responsible to care for his family. If you're going to marry this man, his burdens become yours, and vice versa. To be honest, this whole situation sucks. I'm not sure what I would do. Edit to change ruling. After your edits, not the arsehole.
Wasn't she not the arsehole before?
I think she must have changed it initially. I think she must have said you are the arsehole or something. But then she changed it. Okay, you tried to talk to him through how this would work, and it sounds like he is not willing to make any adjustments of his own to compromise. I'm sorry this has happened to you. See, that's the issue. That's primarily the issue there, and it's that she's like, okay, this I agree. I'll extend an olive branch. This scenario is fucked up, but you need to meet me halfway. I can't fund you and a 12-year-old.
No, I agree.
So,
I think he should have dropped everything and looked after his brother. That's what I think he should have done. So he's at fault too. But I just don't like how she was just like, I ain't doing it. No, because for me, what got me was the whole I want my free time and my money. Like that's what got me. But he's as much to blame as her. I just want to be perfectly clear on that.
Someone didn't even give it a verdict. They've just given some good advice. Just for your information, on the finance side, if you're in the US, he would likely qualify for deceased parents' benefits, which might help with the food and the rent. I could never turn away my significant other siblings in such a desperate situation, but technically, no. I guess you don't owe it to him or anyone. Heads up, though, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up as a deal breaker in your relationship. So yeah,
which it did in the end. But that's because Derek's an idiot.
That's the thing. She gave him one Hail Mary. You need to help me help you.
Yeah. I mean,
you need to help me help you. You need to get even a part-time job. His part-time plus her full-time. That's something, man.
Yeah, because the thing is, I said so before, he tried to put down an ultimatum to get what he wanted when he held no power in the scenario, and
which is ridiculous.
And it backfired on him rightfully because he was just being a petulant child. Although, you know, he did just lose his father.
One last comment.
Yeah.
Not the arsehole. This is a huge commitment. Your fiance doesn't want to make any adjustments or contributions. He simply wants you to support both of them in a situation that's not currently ideal. Who's to say he'll like your place any better? Your fiance needs to bring more to the table.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like I just went to fucking imright.com and just looked for all of... genuinely, those were the 3 top answers.
I agree. Well, I agree with that much. It's her attitude I didn't like.
It's just shitty, yeah. I mean, she initially approached it in like a kind of panicked, shitty manner, but then he didn't help either.
Horrible situation, to be honest.
It is a hard one to stomach.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to finish on.
Yeah.
It was an interesting one to chew through, though. More than anything else, I actually do hope that kid has a decent, it's going to be very difficult, but, a fragmentally good...
It'll either make him or break him.
It will.
Poor child.
It will. That is... Damn.
Yep.
Damn. What a tough scenario to finish a podcast on.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I'm a little bummed out.
Dude, go cry somewhere.
Yeah. But anyway, if you...
dude. I can't even... It feels weird to ouch right now.
No, it doesn't. Okay, look. Shit happens, okay? And if we only address funny, I feel like if we only address funny shit, we'll
Well, yeah, we're not
or rather not
taking
funny,
on the
but
we're not taking on the full spectrum of life.
Yeah.
If we only look at stay-at-home girlfriends without looking at stay-at-home boyfriends, who are we?
hypocrites.
Exactly.
Or
Well,
maybe biased.
maybe somewhere in between. Hypocritically
some-
biased.
Something like that.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed the podcast, follow us on our socials. If you want to support the podcast, we've got a Patreon. And
If you want to write to us,
if you want to write to us, which is what we really want you to do.
really weigh in on that story.
What?
On the last story.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to give us your 2 cents on what we just witnessed,
Yeah.
and think, tell us who you think was right out of the two of us.
For sure. Yeah.
We won't take. I'm not going to cry about it if you think I was wrong.
You know what? The fact that we both disagreed, but here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
I mean, it's not something worth falling out over because it's got nothing to do with us.
It ends the podcast. Ends the series.
Where are they now? So after the story on it,
I just can't get over it.
Can't believe I saw that side of Ghaly.
Who would have thought two people would have disagreed on one thing?
Fucking hell.
It's never happened.
Never in the history of humankind.
But
I mean,
look,
there's been 2 world wars, so maybe someone disagreed somewhere along there.
and many wars in general, right?
Yeah.
But maybe not over something as
Trivial.
trivial.
Well, when talking about it from an outside perspective, it is trivial.
When talking about it from a global war perspective, I suppose it isn't. Anyway.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed,
maybe you have a third opinion that is unlike ours.
Yeah.
Right. And you want to weigh in, and it is something. It's a dense topic.
Yeah, share your thoughts.
Hey, even if you want to relate to if you want to talk about the first story where we just joked around about trains and stuff,
Choo choo, motherfucker.
then yeah, that's cool too, man.
Yeah.
Write to us, gorillahotline.com/submissions, or email us hello@gorillahotline.com, or DM us on Instagram
Or Twitter.
or Twitter,
Or email. Oh, we already said
or
email.
email us, or go to gorillahotline.com. Okay, yeah.
We're looping now.
Alright, yeah. But yeah, contact us. Tell us what's up. Tell us what you think.
I've got nothing else to say. I'm spent. After
Yeah,
that.
I am mentally.
I feel
That
like
was a harrowing last subject.
I got actually angry, or rather emotional.
I got quite drained.
Yeah.
This is when my social battery starts to drop off. And on that note, we're off.
Yep.
We're out. Thank you for listening.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.